graduation ceremony for Jumpmaster Class 704-11. Jumpmaster Class 704-11 just 2 weeks ago started with 61 students, and through hard work and dedication, 39 students will cross the stage today, earning the right to be called Jumpmaster. At this time, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Sergeant Major Anthony B. Miller. Sergeant Major Miller was born in Cocoa, Florida, joined the United States Army in September of 1987. He completed basic combat training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and then attended basic airborne school at Fort Benning, Georgia, and advanced individual training at Fort Lee, Virginia, where he received his first military occupational skill classification 92R parachute rigger. After serving 3 years as a parachute rigger, Sergeant Major Miller re-enlisted in the Army and changed his MOS to 25 Foxtrot Switching Systems Operator. His stateside assignments include 407th S&T Battalion, 82nd Airborne Division, 3rd Special Forces Group Airborne, 112th Signal Battalion Airborne, and the 51st Signal Battalion Airborne at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Joint Task Force 6 and the 208th Signal Company at Fort Bliss, Texas. Joint Communications Support Element at MacDill Air Force Base, Florida, and the 51st Signal Battalion, Fort Lewis, Washington. His overseas assignments include 193rd Infantry at Fort Clayton, Panama, 41st Signal Battalion, and the 362nd Signal Company in Gyeongsang, Korea, and 3 deployments to Iraq in support of the Combined Joint Special Operations Task Force, Arab Peninsula. Sergeant Major Miller was awarded the Bronze Star for leading an 11-man Special Operations Deployable Node SDN team into Iraq, providing a critical communications link to the 75th Ranger Regiment, which was conducting POW search and rescue operations in the vicinity of An Nazariya. Sergeant Major Miller also served as a first sergeant for the 580th Signal Company, 25th Signal Battalion, deployed to Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom from 2006 to 2007. Sergeant Major Miller has held every key leadership position to include squad leader, section sergeant, platoon sergeant, operations sergeant, Team 2 NCOIC of J3 Plan, and first sergeant, S3 sergeant major, and currently serving as the G6 sergeant major of the United States Army Africa.
You mind if I take the podium?
Listen, I think first of all, thanks a lot for the introduction. I think my introduction is going to last longer than graduation. So, I want to start by saying this right here. First of all, I'm really honored to be here as your guest speaker. I will tell you right now, when your sergeant major asked me to come and be your guest speaker, I told him, he actually thought it was a favor to me, but I told him it's not really a favor to him. It's actually an honor to me to come and support you. And normally what I do is I do several speeches, especially for NCOIC classes. Never done one with a Jumpmaster course. I thought the last time when I graduated the Jumpmaster course, the last thing I wanted to do was go through the graduation, but here I am. So I'm going to start out like this right here. First of all, to the family members, I tell you, thank you for what you do, because I tell you, without you, there's no us. And there's certainly not a Jumpmaster. I told my wife that I was going to come and be the guest speaker at graduation, and she started having flashbacks. I don't know if you guys have done it before, but when I was in Jumpmaster course, the guys are obviously the hardest thing to actually endure. And back in those days, and I'm not here to tell you about back in those days story, but I got to tell you this story because you might get a laugh out of it. Back in those days, everybody, I was in Jumpmaster course at Bragg, and you had the stories about being in 82nd and folks going, double no-goes. And so I was destined to not be a no-go at the MPI. And because I had a rigger background, I knew a few folks over at the rigger shed, so I got a dummy harness. And I would tell you, my wife will actually tell you, if you ever see her around, she probably spends more time in the harness than the average soldier. So she knows that every time I say DMPI, she has flashbacks. So I don't know if you guys got opportunity to do that, but that's how I passed them back and forth, that's my wife. So thank you guys, family members, for what you guys do. And by the way, happy Mother's Day. I will tell you that in this graduating class, being a Jumpmaster is one of the greatest opportunities you have as a soldier. And I know you got the civil service personnel back there, Air Force back there, aim high. Congratulations to you. But I tell you, this is one of the most honorable actually do as a soldier in the Army. Number one, because now you're inserting confidence in your soldiers, and you have those soldiers that will sway a little way, but the jump master is the one on that aircraft that's instilling that confidence in that soldier to ensure that his soldier is going to get that aircraft properly and land safely. I was sharing a couple stories with the first sergeant about when I first came to the military, the 82nd Airborne Division, we were jumping up planes called 141. Some of you guys probably never seen a 141. But it was, you know, on 141, how many jumpers can you put on 141? And they say every one of them. It's almost like that thing, how many soldiers can you put in the cattle truck? All of them. And all of them are combat equipped jumpers. But I will tell you, I'm here with, I stand before you today. Military service of 22 years, and 20 of those years was serving as a paratrooper and some as a jump master. 253 jumps, and once again, I share with your first sergeant, my 244th jump was a jump you would not believe. It was a C-17, McGill Air Force Base, 6 jumpers, all the primary. The last jumper before me just graduated jump school. He was jumping dad's one parachute. He was running towards the hangar, and I was close enough to him to tell him to turn and follow me. He turned and followed me. My chute flapped 100 feet off the ground. I couldn't recover from it. And that was the only time I had 253 jumps, in that case it was 241, that I never ran or walked up the drop zone. Actually, I got carried off in an ambulance. But I tell you, I still do it today. After 22 years of military service, I'm very proud to be a jump master, and you will be too. When you put those, I'm not sure if some of you guys have earned a wreath yet, but I tell you, when you put that wreath on, it's something special. You walk around with your chest sticking, poking out a little higher, and you want to tell stories about your days as a jump master. So what I'm going to do with you guys real quick, like I said, I'm not going to be able to be brief, because I know some of you guys' knuckles are probably hurting a little bit, and I don't know, like I told you, I don't know why I got a chance to get in the harness, but jump master, put him in the harness one time to see how it feels to be in the JMPI circle. With that, stay professional, stay proficient, let's graduate. Cool.
The honor graduate of Jump Master Class 704-11 is Sergeant Flagg from 2nd Battalion, 503rd. Sergeant Flagg achieved a total score of 592 points out of a possible 600. Sergeant Flagg will receive his diploma and a certificate of achievement in recognition of his accomplishments. The remaining graduates of Jump Master Class 704-11 are Captain Coffey, 1st of the 503rd, Sergeant Blair, 1st of the 503rd, Sergeant Ryan, 1st of the 503rd, Sergeant Hall, 1st of the 503rd, Sergeant Erickson, 1st of the 503rd, Sergeant Spratt, 1st of the 503rd. Lieutenant Benjamin, 1st of the 503rd. Sergeant Mondragon, 1st of the 503rd. Sergeant Doe, 1st of the 503rd. Captain Kenny, 1st of the 503rd. Captain Ely, 1st of the 503rd. Sergeant Seifert, 2nd of the 503rd. Lieutenant Gagnon, 1st of the 503rd. Sergeant Castro, 1st of the 503rd. Captain Shin, 1st of the 503rd. Sergeant Torres, 2nd of the 503rd. Sergeant Cope, 2nd of the 503rd. Sergeant Robertson, 2nd of the 503rd. Sergeant King, 2nd of the 503rd. Sergeant Johnson, 2nd of the 503rd. Sergeant Godby, 2nd of the 503rd. First Lieutenant Oliver, second of the 503rd. Sergeant Santo, second of the 503rd. Sergeant Barkley, 173rd DSP. Sergeant Cardenay, 173rd VSB. Sergeant Cree, 173rd HHC Brigade. Sergeant Whitaker, 1st and 503rd. Captain Lane, 2nd of the 503rd. Captain Bernal, 2nd of the 503rd. Tech Sergeant Davey, 8th ASOC. Captain Cato, 173rd HHC Brigade. First Lieutenant Caldwell, 2nd of the 503rd. Sergeant Sill, 173rd HHC Brigade. Lieutenant Colonel Cheptel, 8th ASOC. Sergeant Reyes, 2nd of the 503rd. And Staff Sergeant Parson, 2nd of the 503rd. Please join me in a round of applause for the officers. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the graduation ceremony for Drum Master Class 704-11.